Lesson 1. Understand what's in your control. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a life storm, feeling overwhelmed by circumstances that seem completely out of your hands? We all face moments when things don't go as planned, unexpected events, disappointments, or sudden changes that leave us questioning how to proceed. In these moments, the Stoics offer us a profound and liberating lesson that can become an anchor in the most turbulent of times: the dichotomy of control. Picture this. You're planning an outdoor event. You've checked the weather forecast, sent out the invitations, and made all the necessary preparations. Then, just as your event is about to begin, it starts to rain heavily. You can't control the weather, no matter how much you'd like to. In this moment, you're faced with a choice: to let the rain ruin your plans or to adjust and adapt. This is where the wisdom of the Stoics comes into play. The dichotomy of control teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. In this situation, while you cannot control the rain, you can control your reaction. Instead of getting upset, you could choose to move the event indoors, embrace the change, or even see the rain as a refreshing break from the norm. The Stoics remind us that it's not the external events that cause us distress, but how we choose to interpret and respond to them. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, famously said, "Some things are in our control and others are not." It sounds simple, but within this simplicity lies a profound wisdom that can transform your life. Every day we are presented with countless situations, some of which we can influence, like how we spend our time, the habits we develop, and the relationships we nurture. But many things are beyond our control, such as the weather, the actions of others, or the unexpected challenges life throws our way. So, how does this lesson help us in our daily lives? It begins with the realization that our well-being doesn't depend on external events, but rather on how we choose to respond to them. When we internalize the dichotomy of control, we become empowered. We no longer waste energy on things we cannot change. Instead, we focus on what we can control: our thoughts, emotions, actions, and reactions. Think about a time when you faced a setback, a missed job opportunity, an argument with a friend, or an unexpected failure. At the moment, it may have felt like a disaster, but with time you may have realized that it wasn't the event itself, but your interpretation of it that caused you distress. The missed opportunity might have led you to a better job or a new path. The argument could have led to a deeper understanding of your relationship. The failure might have been the catalyst for personal growth. When you face challenges, ask yourself this simple yet powerful question: is this something I can control? If the answer is yes, take action. If the answer is no, then it's time to practice acceptance. This is not about resignation, but about cultivating a mindset of adaptability and peace. By doing so, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and avoid wasting energy on things beyond your grasp. Imagine navigating life's ups and downs with this Stoic principle as your guide. Instead of feeling helpless when things don't go your way, you can adjust your sails. You can navigate the storm with calmness and clarity, knowing that you have control over how you respond to what happens, even if you can't control what happens. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, the dichotomy of control offers us a beacon of clarity. It encourages us to focus on what truly matters, our own actions and our mindset. By embracing this wisdom, we learn to live with serenity, knowing that some things are simply beyond our control and that our true strength lies in how we respond to them. So, the next time you find yourself caught in life's unpredictable storms, remember this powerful lesson. While you may not be able to control the winds, you can always adjust your sails, and that makes all the difference. Lesson 2. Reflect before reacting. In today's fast-paced world, where everything seems to demand an immediate response, the art of pausing before reacting has never been more crucial. How often do we act on impulse, blurting out words in the heat of the moment, or making decisions without taking the time to reflect? In these moments, we often regret our hasty reactions. Whether it's a sharp word spoken in an argument, an impulsive purchase we later regret, or a decision made out of frustration instead of thoughtful consideration. The Stoics teach us that the ability to reflect before reacting is one of the most powerful tools we can develop in our pursuit of wisdom and tranquility. They understood that our emotional responses are often quick and instinctive, but that our rational minds hold the key to meaningful and measured actions. By embracing the practice of reflection, we can break the cycle of knee-jerk reactions and instead cultivate responses that are grounded in wisdom, self-control, and clarity. Imagine this scenario. You receive an email at work that feels like a personal attack. The words are harsh, and your immediate reaction is to fire back with an equally sharp response. But instead of acting on that instinct, you pause. You take a few deep breaths. You step away from the computer for a moment, allowing the initial surge of emotion to pass. When you return, you've had time to gain some perspective. You realize that the email may not be a personal attack at all, but rather the result of the sender's own stress or misunderstanding. Instead of escalating the situation, you craft a calm, professional response that diffuses tension and moves toward resolution. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, responding with intentionality rather than reacting out of habit or impulse. The Stoic philosopher Seneca famously said, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." Without reflection, we're simply tossed around by whatever emotions or external circumstances come our way. But when we take the time to pause, we clarify our direction, ensuring that our actions align with our values and goals. Reflecting before reacting doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring our emotions. It's about giving ourselves space to understand them, process them, and decide how we want to respond, not just in the moment, but in a way that reflects our true character and wisdom. By giving ourselves the time to reflect, we gain greater control over our actions, and we avoid being swept away by the tides of anger, frustration, or stress. This practice is especially vital in our relationships. How many times have we snapped at a loved one, said something hurtful in a disagreement, or acted in ways we didn't truly mean? In these moments, the impulse is often driven by a desire to defend ourselves, to win the argument, or to react in the same way we've been treated. But the Stoics remind us that our character is not defined by how others treat us, but by how we choose to respond. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, often wrote about the importance of pausing and reflecting. In his meditations, he reminds himself that when people act unjustly or cause harm, they are not necessarily attacking him, but rather they are simply acting in alignment with their own flawed perceptions. With this understanding, he is able to respond with compassion even when faced with harsh treatment. Reflecting before reacting also allows us to avoid misunderstandings. How many times have miscommunications escalated because we failed to take a step back and reflect? Often, we assume the worst or jump to conclusions without considering the other person's perspective. Taking a moment to reflect gives us the space to listen more actively, to ask clarifying questions, and to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. This not only helps in de-escalating potential conflicts, but also fosters deeper understanding and empathy in our interactions. The beauty of reflection before reacting is that it doesn't require complex tools or techniques. It can be as simple as taking a few moments to breathe, stepping away from a situation, or asking ourselves, what is the best course of action here? This brief pause gives us the clarity we need to make choices that are aligned with our long-term well-being rather than temporary emotional satisfaction. In the workplace, this practice can elevate your professional relationships and decision-making. Leaders who take the time to reflect before responding to emails, messages, or decisions are often seen as more thoughtful, measured, and respectful. It's the difference between reacting in anger to a difficult colleague or considering the best approach to resolve the issue with grace and professionalism. Reflection helps us think beyond immediate pressures, ensuring that our actions support the larger goals we are working towards. In our personal lives, reflecting before reacting can strengthen our bonds with family and friends. It allows us to respond with kindness, to choose our words carefully, and to maintain the peace in difficult situations. It's a practice that, over time, transforms our relationships, making them more thoughtful, compassionate, and understanding. So how do we integrate this Stoic lesson into our daily lives? Start small. The next time you feel yourself becoming emotional or triggered, pause. Take a breath. Give yourself the space to reflect on what's truly happening. Ask yourself, what is my goal here? What kind of person do I want to be in this moment? Once you've gained clarity, choose your response deliberately. This practice, though small, has the power to shift your entire approach to life. Lesson 3. Practice dispassion. In a world filled with emotional ups and downs, the idea of practicing dispassion can seem counterintuitive. After all, emotions are a natural part of the human experience. Our joys, passions, and even our frustrations make us feel alive. So, what exactly does it mean to practice dispassion, and why is it a key lesson in Stoicism? Dispassion, in the Stoic sense, is not about repressing or ignoring our emotions, nor is it about detaching from life's joys and sorrows. Rather, it is the art of cultivating a balanced perspective, being fully engaged with life while not allowing ourselves to be swept away by the emotional storms that inevitably come our way. It's about finding the space between stimulus and response, where we can choose how to act rather than reacting impulsively to our feelings. Imagine for a moment that you are watching a movie. The plot is intense. There are moments of deep sorrow, intense action, and moments of tension that tug at your heartstrings. While you're completely engaged with the story, there is also a part of you that knows it's just a movie. You can feel the emotions, but you don't jump into the screen to try to help the hero or shout at the villain. You sit back, observe, and allow the story to unfold. This is the essence of dispassion. Engaging with life, feeling its highs and lows, but maintaining a level of detachment that allows us to remain calm, grounded, and in control. The Stoics believed that while we can't control the events that happen to us, we can control how we respond to them. Dispassion is the key to mastering our emotional responses and avoiding being swept away by impulsive reactions. One of the core tenets of Stoic philosophy is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. Our emotions often arise from things outside of our control. Other people's actions, unexpected setbacks, or the unpredictable nature of life itself. However, how we interpret and respond to those external events is within our power. This ability to control our emotional responses is what dispassion helps us cultivate. For example, consider a situation where a colleague or loved one says something hurtful. Without dispassion, you might react immediately, becoming angry or defensive. You might say something you regret, or you might hold on to the negative feelings, allowing them to linger and affect your mood for the rest of the day. But when you practice dispassion, you can take a step back and acknowledge the emotion without letting it control you. You recognize that the hurtful words are a reflection of the other person's state, not a reflection of your worth or the truth. You choose not to engage in the emotional drama, and instead, you respond with clarity and calmness. This ability to remain dispassionate isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about being in control of our reactions, ensuring that our responses are thoughtful and measured rather than knee-jerk and emotional. When we practice dispassion, we don't suppress our feelings. Rather, we allow ourselves to feel them without becoming consumed by them. We create space for rational thought, allowing us to choose responses that are aligned with our values and goals. In today's world, where information overload, constant notifications, and social media can easily overwhelm us, practicing dispassion is especially important. We are constantly bombarded with news, opinions, and stimuli that provoke strong emotional responses. Reacting impulsively to every piece of information, every social media post, or every piece of news would leave us exhausted and emotionally drained. Dispassion offers us a buffer, a way to engage with the world without being overwhelmed by it. This practice is also invaluable in times of stress or adversity. When we face difficult challenges, it's easy to feel anxious, frustrated, or fearful, but by practicing dispassion, we can step back and evaluate the situation from a broader perspective. We can remind ourselves that this challenge, like all challenges, is temporary. We can focus on what's within our control and take calm, measured steps toward a solution. Moreover, dispassion is a powerful tool in relationships. In conversations or disagreements, our emotions can easily take over, leading to arguments or misunderstandings. Practicing dispassion allows us to listen more effectively, to respond thoughtfully, and to avoid escalating conflicts. It helps us keep our emotions in check, which in turn fosters greater understanding and respect in our interactions with others. Dispassion doesn't mean we stop caring. In fact, it enhances our ability to care more deeply, because we can engage with life without being consumed by emotional turbulence. It allows us to be present in each moment, to appreciate the highs without being overly attached, and to endure the lows without becoming overwhelmed. To practice dispassion, begin by cultivating awareness of your emotional responses. When you feel a strong emotion arise, pause for a moment. Recognize what you're feeling without judgment. Acknowledge the emotion as a natural part of your experience, but remind yourself that you don't have to be defined by it. Ask yourself, what would a wise, calm person do in this situation? By creating this space between stimulus and response, you allow yourself the freedom to choose how to react. In the long term, practicing dispassion can lead to greater emotional resilience. You become less reactive, more in control of your emotions, and better able to navigate life's inevitable challenges with grace and composure. Dispassion is a powerful Stoic tool that can transform the way we experience life. It is not about denying our emotions, but about finding a balanced approach, engaging with life fully, but not allowing ourselves to be ruled by every emotional storm. By practicing dispassion, we gain the clarity, calmness, and control to live a life that is measured, intentional, and aligned with our highest values. Number 4, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Life is filled with moments that test our patience, resilience, and perspective. From minor inconveniences like a spilled coffee to more significant challenges like disagreements with loved ones, our days are punctuated with situations that evoke a range of emotions. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to get swept up in the immediacy of our feelings. A missed deadline, a critical comment, or a forgotten anniversary can feel like the end of the world. But one powerful question can shift our perspective and bring clarity. Will this matter in 5 years? This simple yet profound question serves as a mental time machine, transporting us to the future and allowing us to look back at the present moment. Suddenly, that heated argument or that missed opportunity is seen in a different light. Most of the things we fret about today will be forgotten footnotes in the grand narrative of our lives. Consider the challenges and worries you had 5 years ago. How many of them still hold weight today? How many have been overshadowed by new experiences, learnings, and memories? This realization can be both humbling and liberating. Using this question as a regular touchstone helps in prioritizing our concerns. It assists us in distinguishing between short-term setbacks and long-term implications. For instance, while a bad day at work might feel overwhelming now, in the grand scheme of things, it's just one day in a career spanning decades. This perspective also fosters resilience. When faced with adversity, reminding ourselves of the bigger picture can reduce anxiety and promote problem solving. Instead of getting bogged down by the problem at hand, we can strategize, adapt, and move forward, knowing that time often brings clarity and solutions. But it's not just about minimizing our concerns. This question also encourages us to focus on what truly matters. If we want our actions and decisions to have lasting significance, we need to invest in relationships, personal growth, and experiences that stand the test of time. In a world that often emphasizes the now, will this matter in 5 years? Is a beacon guiding us toward a life of purpose, perspective, and peace. By regularly revisiting this question, we can navigate life's ups and downs with grace, ensuring that our energy and attention are directed toward what truly counts. Number 5. Keep a Stoic journal. The act of journaling has been celebrated across cultures and eras, not just as a record of events, but as a tool for introspection, growth, and clarity. The Stoics, with their emphasis on self-awareness and personal betterment, were no strangers to this practice. A Stoic journal isn't merely a diary of daily happenings. It is a space for reflection, for dialogue with oneself, for dissecting emotions, decisions, and reactions. It's where the external world meets the internal, where events are weighed against personal values and beliefs. Imagine ending your day by recounting not just what happened, but how you responded. Why did a particular comment upset you? What triggered that burst of joy during a mundane task? By dissecting our day, we begin to understand the patterns of our psyche. We start to see the triggers that sway our mood, the values that guide our decisions, and the habits that shape our days. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, kept a journal which is now known as Meditations. It wasn't meant for publication. It was a personal dialogue, a space for him to guide himself, to remind himself of Stoic principles, and to navigate the challenges of his life with wisdom. Through his writings, we see a man grappling with his responsibilities, his emotions, and his place in the cosmos. But you don't have to be an emperor to benefit from a Stoic journal. In our modern lives, filled with distractions and a constant barrage of information, setting aside time for introspection becomes even more crucial. A daily check-in is a grounding ritual that brings clarity amidst chaos. Over time, this practice can lead to profound insights. You might notice that certain situations repeatedly cause stress, prompting you to either address them or change your perspective. You might find that specific practices, like gratitude or mindfulness, elevate your mood and outlook. The patterns that emerge can serve as a roadmap for personal growth. Beyond insights, a Stoic journal fosters accountability. By committing to daily reflection, we hold ourselves accountable for our reactions and decisions. It becomes harder to ignore repeated mistakes or brush off lapses in judgment. Instead, we're prompted to learn, adapt, and grow. In essence, keeping a Stoic journal is like having a wise, non-judgmental friend by your side, always ready to listen, reflect, and guide. It's a commitment to personal growth, to understanding oneself better, and to living a life aligned with one's values and principles. Number 6. See obstacles as opportunities. The world is rife with challenges, from personal setbacks to global upheavals. Obstacles are an inherent part of the human experience, but what if, instead of viewing these challenges as burdens, we saw them as opportunities in disguise? Stoics held a powerful perspective on adversity. They believed that while we cannot always control the events that befall us, we can control our interpretation and response to them. This shift in perspective transforms challenges from mere setbacks to valuable lessons. A quote by the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius encapsulates this idea beautifully. "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that every obstacle, every challenge, can propel us forward if we choose to see it as an opportunity for growth. Consider a river that encounters a boulder in its path. Instead of stopping, the river finds a way around it, either by eroding the boulder over time or carving a new path. The boulder, an apparent obstacle, becomes an agent of change, reshaping the river's course. Similarly, in our lives, challenges can redirect our paths, often leading us to outcomes we hadn't imagined. For instance, a job loss, while initially devastating, might open the door to a new career path, a chance to upskill, or even the opportunity to start a venture of one's own. A failed relationship might pave the way for personal growth, self-discovery, and deeper, more meaningful connections in the future. This Stoic perspective also fosters resilience. When we start viewing challenges as opportunities, we become more adaptable and more willing to face adversity head-on. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we begin to ask, "What can I learn from this? How can this experience shape me for the better?" Of course, this doesn't mean we should seek out challenges or dismiss genuine hardships. It's about recognizing that within every challenge lies potential, a seed of opportunity. By nurturing this seed with a positive perspective, patience, and perseverance, we can transform obstacles into stepping stones, leading us toward growth, wisdom, and fulfillment. Number 7. Practice gratitude. In the vast tapestry of human emotions, gratitude stands out as a golden thread, weaving moments of joy, contentment, and perspective into our lives. While it's an emotion that can arise spontaneously, the Stoics believed in the deliberate practice of gratitude, making it a daily ritual to anchor oneself in the present and appreciate life's blessings. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a deep acknowledgement of the myriad forces, moments, and individuals that enrich our lives. It's about recognizing the beauty in the mundane, the lessons in challenges, and the fleeting nature of every experience, which makes it all the more precious. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This encapsulates the essence of gratitude, being deeply rooted in the present, cherishing every moment, every experience, and every interaction. Consider the simple pleasures we often take for granted: the warmth of the sun on a cold day, the sound of laughter, a meal shared with loved ones, or the very breath that sustains us. By pausing to acknowledge and appreciate these moments, we magnify their beauty and significance in our lives. Practicing gratitude also offers a counterbalance to the human tendency to focus on what's lacking, on unmet desires, or on uncertainties about the future. By shifting our focus to what we have rather than what we lack, we cultivate contentment, reduce feelings of envy or resentment, and enhance our overall well-being. You might wonder, how does one cultivate this practice? It can be as simple as starting or ending the day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. Over time, this practice can transform your outlook, making you more receptive to life's blessings and more resilient in the face of challenges. Furthermore, Gratitude strengthens relationships. By expressing appreciation for the acts of kindness, support, or love we receive from others, we nurture bonds, foster mutual respect, and create a positive feedback loop of goodwill and affection. In a world that often emphasizes more possessions, more achievements, more desires, gratitude is a gentle reminder of the abundance that already exists in our lives. It's a call to celebrate the present, to embrace life with open arms, and to tread the path of existence with a heart full of thanks. As the sun sets on another day, we're left with the echoes of ancient wisdom in our modern world. How will you harness these Stoic lessons to shape your tomorrow? We're eager to hear your thoughts and experiences. Share your insights in the comments below, and let's continue this journey of self-discovery together. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm thankful for you joining us. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and never stop seeking wisdom. Conclusion: embracing Stoic wisdom in our lives. As we've explored these 7 profound lessons, it becomes clear that Stoic philosophy offers more than just timeless wisdom. It provides a powerful framework for navigating the complexities of modern life. By reflecting before reacting, practicing dispassion, asking ourselves, will this matter in 5 years? Keeping a Stoic journal, seeing obstacles as opportunities, and practicing gratitude, we equip ourselves with the tools to lead lives filled with clarity, resilience, and purpose. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the events that unfold around us, we can control our responses, attitudes, and mindset. In a world that often seems chaotic and unpredictable, Stoic principles offer a grounding force, helping us stay connected to what truly matters and guiding us toward a life of inner peace. The journey towards wisdom is ongoing, and by embracing these Stoic practices, we can continue to grow, learn, and evolve into the best versions of ourselves. These lessons are not meant to be mastered overnight, but lived and practiced consistently. Each day offers an opportunity to embody Stoic virtues, and in doing so, enrich our lives and the lives of those around us. I encourage you to reflect on these lessons, integrate them into your daily life, and share your journey with others. By fostering a community of shared wisdom and growth, we can all create a space for deeper understanding and connection. Thank you for joining us on this path of self-discovery. Stay curious, stay grounded, and keep seeking wisdom. Until next time,